going on? The Geek Speak show at CreaturesCon in San Ramon. With us, Josh Hancock. Josh, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
So we're here because I was looking at your books, and one of them, I'll have you talk about it, but one of them, the character described me in a way, because I have not an obsession. I just like the movie Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween. So let's start with that one. Talk about the books and the character.
Absolutely. So the book that you're referring to is my first novel, The Girls of October. And you're exactly right. It tells the story of a film student who becomes obsessed with John Carpenter's Halloween. But she becomes so consumed by the movie begins to manifest in her real life. So if you're a fan of Halloween, you can't go wrong with the book. Hopefully what happens to her won't happen to you or other people who love the movie. But the book is just centered around, my love of the movie as well. And I always had this idea of writing a fictional novel about a character who becomes consumed by a movie that almost every horror fan loves. And that's what you get with The Girls of October. And it's an epistolary novel, so the whole book is told through letters, articles, police reports, interviews. There's even a research paper about Halloween. It's all included in the book. So all those documents come together to tell her story.
See, I like that. I didn't even look in the book, but I like that because it's very, like today, most kids are on their phone and they don't want to read. This is not just a turn the page kind of book. It's, well, not quite interactive, would you call it?
Yeah,
but
no, I would
is
think,
it?
Yeah, thank you. I think that's a great word to describe it. It's definitely interactive. It's filled with documents.
Yeah.
It's all fictional, but it's presented to the reader like it's real.
Is it?
Yeah,
fictional?
well, exactly, yeah. Another way that I like to describe it is it's like true crime, except that none of it happened. But it's presented to the reader as if it did. So I've had people tell me that they've even looked up parts of the book online thinking that they're going to find out the story, only to remember, oh yeah, this didn't actually happen. So I hope that it's an interactive experience that gets the reader involved in the story.
Yeah, which honestly, for any creator, when people are looking stuff up, then you did it right.
Right, yeah, no, I think that's such a cool idea, this idea that it's like the Blair Witch Project. That was one of my, at the time that it came out, really convinced people that what they were seeing was real, even when I think we all knew it was fake, but we almost wanted to believe in the possibility that it was real. So I'm hoping that when a reader reads any of my books, they know it's fiction, but they like entering into this world that might very well exist.
Yeah. Now, before we go on to the other books, I gotta ask, when was the first time that you saw Halloween?
Gosh, I mean, I grew up, I'm a child of, the mom and pop video stores, even before Blockbuster, before Hollywood Video. So it must have been going to one of those stores and convincing the guy behind the counter to let us rent it. So, because, I was only maybe 11 or 12 years old. Yeah. So probably around that time, and it was probably on VHS. And once I saw it that one time, just never looked back.
Yeah, so let's go on and talk about the other books.
Sure. So I'll go to The Devil and My Daughter, which is my second novel, and that's told in the same style. So again, through these fictional documents. And it tells the story of two best friends who make a demonic possession movie, like The Exorcist or The Omen, but making the movie comes with a terrible price. So that book is born out of my love of the demonic possession genre. The Exorcist is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I knew I wanted to tell a story about that, but again, in a different way or in a way that hopefully people haven't seen before. So with The Devil and My Daughter, it's many works in one, because the book as a whole is The Devil and My Daughter, but then the movie that the two best friends make, that's called The Devil and My Daughter, and that movie is in written form in the book. Plus a whole bunch of short films that they did leading up to their feature-length film, and then, of course, the results of the demonic possession, which is the climax of the story. So, like The Girls of October, it really tells an all-encompassing story that I hope people will like.
Now, for The Girls of October, I'm sure just being a fan of the movie, that helped you out, fleshing out the character. For this one, what kind of research went into it? Because especially being at something like CreaturesCon, there's a lot of people who get into it. I'm not saying that they're possessed or anything, but they want to know stuff. And the audience out there, they love getting into it.
Yeah.
Like you said, they look stuff up. So what kind of research went into crafting this book?
Yeah, I think first, definitely researching more into demonic possession. I'm not saying that I believe in it or don't believe in it, but I wanted to present, if that's indeed what happens in the story, if one of the actresses in the movie truly becomes possessed by a demon, I wanted to capture that as realistically as possible. I didn't want it to be so over the top that people would never believe that this could actually happen.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of reading, a lot of watching movies, demonic possession movies, but a lot of reading about real demonic possession cases throughout the world. And then I tried to base this case of demonic possession on those. So it definitely has its shocking or over-the-top moments, but I tried to keep a lid on it to a certain degree, because I want people to really feel like if this happens in real life, this is what it might be like. And that's what I love about The Exorcist, because I feel like it's very extreme in many ways, but it's not so extreme that we won't actually believe it. So just a lot of movie watching and a lot of reading about the genre, and then a lot of research just into young filmmakers today and what they do to begin their careers, so that I could create these two characters in their likeness.
Yeah, so give them the website where they can find it. If they're not here at CreaturesCon, where can they find the books?
Sure. You can find me, on Amazon, of course. My website, foundfootagefiction.com. Also Instagram at Josh Hancock Books. The books are available wherever books are sold, bookstores, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can find me in all those places.
Excellent. Now, I got to go and ask again about a movie before the last question will be. I showed my son, who's now 16 now, I showed him the Exorcist. I told him, okay, you're ready now? Because I think, like a lot of us, I watched it when I was way too young for it. It is one of my favorites also. And it is the scariest movie of all time. Now, I told him, you're about to watch the scariest movie of all time. When we were done, he turned to me and said, Dad, I just watched the most boring movie of all time. Now, to you, how, especially because you're writing stories like this one for younger readers, or at least people that are trying to start a career, how would you scare people today? Because they don't consider what you and I grew up thinking is scary. How would you scare them today?
I think it's a great question. When I think of what's truly scary, this idea that, my third book is all the monsters are human. There's no supernatural elements in my third book, Death Rituals. And for me, that's what's the scariest. Not ghosts, not demons, but real life people who, as horrific as it sounds, who come into your house in the middle of the night, break into your house and do something to you.
Yeah.
So to me, the scariest monsters are humans, because you never know what they're going to do. So if I was really trying to scare someone, maybe through a film or through a book, I'd write about the monsters that are all around us.
Yeah, like you said, with Blair Witch, something that could potentially happen in real life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so again, it's Josh Hancock. Thanks a lot. Give him the website one more time.
Website again, Josh Hancock Books on Instagram. You can also find me on Facebook. And then the website is foundfootagefiction.com. And again, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all those places as well.
Thanks a lot.
Cool. Thanks, Henry.